most importantly, what are the health benefits of oysters? Because I'm not that familiar with them. I've had them now and then. I enjoy them, but they're not like readily available as, like chicken or steak or even shrimp.
Sure.
So
Yep.
what would you say are the best health benefits of oysters?
Yeah. I think the thing that jumps out, Mike, is the zinc content. They have the highest concentration of zinc, from any animal protein that's available that I know of. So like one decent sized market oyster contains as much zinc as say a 12-ounce portion of red meat. So that zinc is really good, which is good for your immune system. It's I think where the whole adage of it being a aphrodisiac came from, because that zinc will kind of give you that buzz of energy. Now, what you do with that energy is totally up to you. But it's really high in the zinc. It's high in B12, and some other essential vitamins and things like that. High in protein, low in fat, low in cholesterol. So it's a protein packed and zinc packed animal. It's also really sustainable for the environment. I know a lot of people now, they're looking at what food they eat, especially animal protein, through the lens of like what's the impact on the environment. It's like what's the impact on me, but also what's the larger impact. And so they're super sustainable in that way. I think they're either number one or number two with like insects in terms of the sustainability of the actual protein, because we don't have to put any inputs into the oysters. I mean, there's no food, there's no chemicals, there's no antibiotics, no hormones, none of that stuff. So you don't have to worry about like, are these, free range or, hormone free oysters. Like none of that stuff goes into it. So it's a natural food, a whole food in that sense.
Right. Because you never really know what's being put into your food sometimes. There's so many, even had people on this show. I've talked to so many people in my life about some people are vegan, some people are all carnivore. I'm in the middle. And there's so many different views. And eggs. Some people think eggs are amazing for you. Some people think eggs are very bad for you. There's so many different, and again, all these people that I have talked to and have listened to are very smart, but it's just, it's what works for each person, and it's what where you're getting them, and it sounds like you have a great product that isn't tampered with. You grow it from the ground up, and that's a good point with zinc, because I actually just started taking zinc pills, like a supplement, in the last couple of years, because I heard that was good for you. And I think you're supposed to take it with quercetin so that it gets into your cells. I don't know if you heard of that, but I had never heard of zinc really until a couple of years ago. So as I started looking up into more health stuff. So now, you said 12 grams or 12 servings?
I think it was like 12 grams of red meat protein or something like that. Okay. I don't think I said ounces. I think it might be grams, but it's still a good amount. I think it's the most for, like I said, for animal protein. It's interesting. A lot of vegetarians will eat our oysters. I actually know a few vegans that eat oysters. I think that's probably cheating just a hair, but we like to call them vegans. They'll eat things from the sea, but not necessarily other animal products. So, yeah, man, it's good for you and it's good for the environment. I think that's, and people a lot of times will bring up, well, if they're filter feeders, why is it good to eat them, or how is it safe? And that's a good question. It's a fair question. A big thing is like, they don't have livers like pinfish, like, I say a tuna or a swordfish would have. So they can't store heavy metals and toxins like a finfish would have, like a predatory fish. So they don't have a liver. They've got kidneys that help flush their stomach contents and keep, expel anything that isn't good for them or good for us to eat. They don't let suspended solids in most of the time unless they're stuck in the mud. So you don't have to worry about grit with farmed oysters, especially ours being surface raised. And, the state and the feds are really rigorous about the water quality testing. Like they go and they test the sites all the time for bacteria and other things. It's like, they can shut you down. If this happens a lot with clam beds near like New York City and stuff that are in the Long Island Sound, like, they're constantly being shut down due to rainfall, because you get rainfall, it hits a highly populated area, septic system, sewers, not to get too into the weeds of it, but that has to go somewhere. If you're near the ocean, sometimes it goes there. and the state has to really closely monitor that for seafood. So that's what they do, and we're lucky we're in very pristine environments and very open waters where we get a lot of flush, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But there are farms and there are things that come from the ocean that are filter feeders that you need to. It's good to do your a little bit of homework, especially if you're gonna eat it raw.